Dear Leo, radiant child of the sun, welcome back to eternal mindfulness. If you're here today, know that it's not by accident. You were drawn here by something greater. A subtle sign, a whisper in the wind, maybe even a shift you've been feeling in your chest lately. But trust me, you've arrived at exactly the right moment, because July 5th is no ordinary day. A financial shift is approaching. Yes, a powerful storm of luck and abundance is headed your way, and Leo, the universe has been waiting for you to claim it. Let me ask you this, have you felt lately that something big is about to happen? As if life has been holding its breath, preparing to release a wave of change in your favor? If so, this reading is meant for you. Not just because it's time to receive, but because you're finally ready to receive. Picture this, a golden door is opening right now, and the light shining through it knows your name. You are the only one who holds the key. This moment, this message was sent to remind you that you were never forgotten. You've always been watched over, guided, and prepared for what's coming next. On July 5th, a cosmic alignment unfolds in your favor. A financial surprise, an unexpected opportunity, or a door you thought was closed forever, suddenly swings wide open. And no, it's not luck. It's alignment. Your soul has called this in for a long time, and now the universe is simply answering. At Eternal Mindfulness, we believe messages like these are sacred. We don't just read astrology or tarot, we listen to the rhythm of the unseen. And this week, the message is crystal clear. Leo, brace yourself. You're not only about to experience a shift in your outer world, but also a deep awakening within. Your power is returning. Your confidence is rising. And the time to act is now. In this video, we'll explore what the stars are revealing about your path. We'll unlock guidance from the tarot, decode the numerology surrounding July 5th, reveal your lucky colors, and share real-life steps to align your health, money, relationships, and mindset with this powerful energy. You'll walk away with clarity, direction, and the fire to step into what's already yours. Now let me say this from the heart, thank you. Truly. Your presence here means everything. Every like, every comment, every time you subscribe or share it helps build this sacred space. It's because of your support that we can continue to bring these messages to life. And today's message is one you won't want to miss. So stay with me until the very end, because what the universe is about to reveal is nothing short of breathtaking. So tell me, Leo, what drew you here today? Was it a feeling? A moment of synchronicity? A dream you couldn't quite explain? Leave a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear how your path has brought you here, because that connection is where the magic begins. Let's begin this journey together, because everything is about to change. The cosmic energies of July 5th unfold with quiet precision, and for you, dear Leo, this is no ordinary alignment. Imagine the sky itself bending in your favor, the moon, forming a sacred trine with expansive Jupiter and tender Venus, weaving a net of golden opportunity across your path. This isn't a coincidence, it's a convergence. You are being cradled in a rare moment where the universe gently places a hand on your shoulder and whispers, "Now is the time." The presence of Jupiter in this celestial conversation invites growth that goes far beyond material success. It's the kind of expansion that starts from within, where your mindset begins to stretch, where self-belief finally outweighs self-doubt. Venus adds her soft glow, encouraging you to receive love, beauty, and abundance not as external rewards, but as mirrors of your inner alignment. And the Moon, keeper of emotion and memory, opens the portal between what you feel and what you're ready to allow. This trio doesn't shout. It sings softly but clearly, "You are worthy now." And here you are, Leo ruled by the sun, born to shine. But perhaps you've spent time in the shadow of hesitation. Maybe the world has taught you to dim yourself, to wait for permission before expressing your power. But let's be honest, how long will you wait to walk into the life that's already written for you? There comes a moment when asking for approval becomes heavier than stepping into your own authority. That moment is now. The energy of fire signs yours include this surging this week. Aries gives you the spark, Sagittarius offers the vision, and you, Leo, you are the flame itself. This is the fire that purifies, transforms, and rebuilds. It is the same inner force that legends are forged from. When the fire is in alignment with purpose, it no longer burns, it illuminates. This week, your mind may be filled with ideas that feel sudden, electric, unstoppable. Pay attention. These flashes of inspiration are not random, they are soul memories trying to make their way to the surface. Let's speak of destiny, because the wheel of fortune has turned. This isn't just about luck. True fortune is born from the moments no one sees, the nights you stayed faithful to your vision, the days you chose compassion over resentment, the quiet ways you've held your integrity. The wheel turns not for those who wait, but for those who prepare. And Leo, your preparation has not gone unnoticed. The Ace of Pentacles appears now as a symbol of reward, a new seed, planted in rich soil, ready to grow into something lasting. This may arrive as an offer, a message, a gift from someone who sees your light. But more than anything, it is a reflection of your own energetic readiness. The work has already been done on an invisible level. Now it begins to show. Think of this moment like crossing a river. For a long time, you've stood on the edge, watching the current, uncertain if the other side would hold you. But the bridge is here. You may not see every step, but the first one is glowing beneath your feet. Will you take it? There is a saying, when the flower blooms, the bee will come. You don't need to chase what's meant for you. You only need to become the one who's ready to receive it. Your courage is the magnet. Your openness is the invitation. And your belief in your own light is the door. So pause, dear Leo. Reflect. What part of you has been standing at the finish line, afraid to cross? What would it take for you to believe that the race has already been won, not by effort, but by alignment? Share your truth in the comments, if you feel called. Let us witness your readiness. Because this is not just a horoscope. This is a mirror. And what you see in it today is the beginning of everything. When we pull the Eight of Swords in a reading like this, especially for someone like you, dear Leo, it doesn't point to failure or weakness. Instead, it reflects a deeper process, one that often goes unnoticed. The way we silently tie ourselves down with thoughts we've inherited, beliefs we never questioned, and fears that were never truly ours to begin with. The image is clear: someone bound not by ropes, but by perception. And now, something is stirring. That perception is shifting. The inner fire that once lay dormant is rising, ready to burn through every illusion that kept you small. There is a moment in every seeker's journey where the bars of the mental cage begin to feel tighter, not because they're closing in, but because you've outgrown them. And that's where you are now. You've grown too large in spirit, too bright in energy, to remain in a space built on limitation. The Queen of Wands enters next, not to rescue you, but to remind you who you are when you stand in your full presence. She is bold without arrogance, magnetic without trying, radiant without asking for approval. She's the mirror of the Leo who knows, this is my life, and I will live it out loud. But what shifts this knowing from quiet recognition into movement is the Knight of Wands. He brings momentum. He rides in with clarity, not just of what he wants, but of why it matters. His fire is focused, and that's what you're being called to step into now. You are no longer asked to wait for someone else to open the door. You are the one holding the flame. And that flame, Leo, has the power to melt the locks, dissolve the chains, and set the entire stage ablaze. Ask yourself, how many times have you silenced your voice, not because it lacked truth, but because you feared how it would be received? How long have you played small in rooms where your light was needed most? There's no shame in these moments. They were part of your growth. But the time for hiding is done. This is your week to reclaim the sound of your own roar. This is your time to step back onto the stage of your life, not as someone performing for applause, but as someone fully embodied, fully expressed, fully free. So what does that look like in practice? Begin small. Write down 3 things you want: clear, honest, unapologetic. Not what you think you should want, but what your heart aches for when no one's watching. Stand in front of a mirror each morning this week, look yourself in the eyes, and say those 3 things out loud. Say them not with desperation, but with gratitude. Gratitude is the fuel of belief, and belief is the compass that points you toward action. You might also want to try this. Take one of those desires and write the affirmation, "I am worthy of receiving this," on a small piece of paper. Tuck it under your pillow. Let it rest near your dreams. Our minds, when relaxed, are more open to suggestion, and this subtle act sends a message to your subconscious: I am ready to receive. We're not simply waiting for the universe to deliver something. We're becoming the version of ourselves who can hold it. This is the heart of all transformation. We don't force the fruit to ripen, we nourish the root, we trust the process, and then one day, without needing to push, we find ourselves standing in the shade of the tree we once only imagined. And if it helps, reflect on this: no one else can walk your path, but they can feel the heat of your footsteps. So make them strong. Make them certain. And above all, make them yours. There comes a moment when the walls you've built for safety begin to feel like a prison. You may not even notice it at first. The discomfort grows slowly, like a whisper at the edge of your awareness. But eventually, something cracks. A job that once fulfilled you feels lifeless. A relationship loses its warmth. A daily routine begins to feel more like a loop than a life. And then, seemingly without warning, everything shifts. That's the tower. It doesn't arrive to punish. It arrives because you're ready to let go of what you've outgrown, even if a part of you still clings to the familiarity of the past. The Tower card represents this sacred unraveling. The collapse of what was never meant to last forever. And although it can feel sudden, abrupt, even chaotic, it is not random. It is deeply purposeful. You see, when something is falling apart, it's often because it was built on ground that can no longer support the person you are becoming. Much like a tree whose roots grow too large for its original pot, your life is demanding expansion. Holding on only delays the inevitable. The walls will break. The roof will fall. But what rises in its place will be yours honestly, fully, and beautifully. And then we meet the magician. In many traditions of inner work, there is a principle that says, when the old self dissolves, the space it leaves behind becomes sacred ground for creation. The magician is the part of you that knows this. The part of you that remembers, I am not here to simply survive change. I am here to participate in my own becoming. He doesn't look back. He doesn't resist the fall. He gathers what remains: his voice, his skills, his desires, and with conscious breath, begins again. The most powerful thing about this energy is that it doesn't require perfection. Only presence. It invites you to look at what is in your hands right now, and ask, what can I build with this? You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to be honest with yourself about what no longer resonates. That job you keep for the paycheck but dread every morning. That friendship that runs on old stories but no longer reflects who you are. That version of you that says, I'm fine, when you know you're not. These are not flaws. These are signals. They are life asking you to move. It's said that suffering comes not from change, but from resisting change. The river never clings to the rock. The wind does not mourn the leaf it carries away. Nature teaches us to let go with grace, and to begin again with gentleness. What if, instead of fearing the unknown, you saw it as an open field ready for you to step into, barefoot and willing? This week, it may be as simple as choosing to sleep earlier, or drink more water. It may be as empowering as canceling a subscription that drains you, or finally saying no to something that has been slowly dimming your light. These are not small things. They are doorways. Every act of conscious release becomes a ritual of reclaiming. If you find yourself at a crossroads today, ask not which path is safest, but which one brings you peace. The road of least resistance isn't always the one with the fewest obstacles, it's the one that aligns with your truth. And sometimes, that road is only revealed when the old one disappears beneath your feet. So pause for a moment, right now. Ask yourself gently, what have I been holding on to that no longer holds me? What version of me is ready to emerge if I stop gripping the past? And if your answer feels clear, share it. Speak it. Write it. Or leave it in the comments below. Because sometimes, the first step toward the life you want is simply to admit that you're ready to walk away from the one that no longer fits. As we step into this pivotal energy, the universe doesn't just whisper through emotion or instinct, it speaks in color, in number, in synchronicity. And if you're paying attention, Leo, you'll see these signals all around you this week. They're subtle but powerful, like the soft glow before sunrise or the hush right before a storm breaks. They are not coincidences, they are confirmation. The outer world is reflecting your inner alignment, and through these reflections, you are being guided toward deeper awareness and action. Golden yellow, this is not just a lucky color for you right now, it is a frequency. It vibrates with intelligence, confidence, and conscious abundance. Think of it as the color of self-worth realized, not imagined. When you wear this hue or carry it with you, you are quite literally dressing in the energy of clarity and financial elevation. It reminds you that your value isn't something you prove, it's something you embody. You don't chase wealth when you are the energy of wealth. You attract it like the sun draws petals open. And then there's orange-red, fiery, bold, and deliberate. This color calls on your instinct, on your ability to act without hesitation when the moment arrives. It stirs the flame within, giving you that extra push to say what needs to be said, to move when your body says, go, to decide even when the mind wavers. It is the energy of action blessed by timing. To wear this color is to tell the world, I am awake, I am here, I am ready. The numbers you've been seeing lately, perhaps on receipts, clocks, phone numbers, are not random. They are part of the map. The number 5 appears to nudge you toward change, not to disrupt, but to liberate. Change is not chaos when you trust that you are growing into more of who you are. Number 8 grounds that motion, reminding you that financial balance is not only possible, but inevitable when you live with integrity. It also speaks to inner strength, the quiet kind that doesn't have to be loud to be unshakable. The number 10 completes one cycle and opens the door to a new one. You might feel like you're finishing something, an old belief, a role you've outgrown, a contract that no longer inspires you. That's not loss. That's release. Let what's ending fall away with grace so the new can rise clean. And then there's 33. A number of spiritual alignment. It's the reminder that your path is not only about you, but also about how your light supports others. You don't need to carry anyone, Leo, but your very presence can ignite courage in those who've forgotten their own. That's the gift you bring, often without knowing it. Lastly, 78, a number that says you are on the right path, even if the terrain is unfamiliar. It asks you to walk with trust, not blind faith, but the kind of trust that knows each step is unfolding what needs to be seen, learned, remembered. Watch also for signs that seem too perfectly timed to explain: an unexpected encounter with someone from your past, a gift showing up just when you needed it, the clock flashing 11:11 when you happen to glance up. These aren't tricks. They're affirmations. The world is showing you that your energy is being mirrored back in real time. If you want to engage more directly with this current, try something simple but potent. Wear golden yellow or orange red on July 5th. Let it wrap around you like a declaration of your readiness. And in the early morning, find 7 minutes of stillness. Sit in quiet. Breathe deeply. With each exhale, repeat gently to yourself, I am ready to receive what is meant for me. Not as a plea, but as a recognition. What you are seeking is already seeking you. This isn't about superstition or magic, it's about presence. When you move with awareness, the world responds with precision. You don't need to force anything into place. You only need to be the version of yourself who is open enough to notice when something sacred arrives. And Leo, it's already on its way. Of all the signs in the Zodiac, Leo, you are the one who teaches the rest of us what it means to walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in presence. And in this particular week, that presence becomes your greatest tool. Everything we've discussed so far, the cosmic alignments, the tarot messages, the colors, the numbers, are all weaving together for one single purpose: to bring you back to yourself. Not the version of you that's been shaped by expectation or circumstance, but the version that has always existed beneath the noise. The real you. The bold you. The brave you. Now is not the time to shrink for anyone. If there's one lesson the universe is gently repeating this week, it's that your light is not too much, it's just enough to guide those still in the dark. You've done the inner work. You've faced the uncertainty. And though the journey isn't over, you are being positioned to lead not from above, but from within. So if you've been waiting for a sign to make that decision, to launch that idea, to express that truth you've been holding back, this is it. Not later. Not when it's perfect. Now. There's a quiet truth woven through every astrological cycle. Energy moves in spirals, not straight lines. That means even when you feel like you're circling back to old issues, you're meeting them from a higher place each time. You're not repeating, you're refining. And this week, that spiral opens a new doorway, one you may have walked past before but couldn't quite enter. You weren't ready. But now, with everything you've shed and everything you've claimed, the door recognizes your energy. It opens, because you've become a match for it. Practically speaking, this might look like an invitation to speak your truth in a relationship gently but firmly. It could be a job opportunity that seems too good to be true, but is actually just right. Or it could be as simple as a feeling an undeniable pull toward a new direction, even if you can't yet see where it leads. Honor that pull. It's your intuition, fine-tuned by months or years of growth, nudging you toward alignment. But there's one more piece that must be named here: rest. True expansion isn't just about action, it's about restoration. Like the lion who hunts with precision and then naps in the sun, you too are being asked to honor the cycle of effort and ease. If your body has been asking for stillness, give it. If your mind feels foggy, unplug. Restoration is not weakness. It is the sacred inhale before a powerful exhale. And if doubt still creeps in, if you wonder whether you're imagining all of this, remember, doubt always visits just before a breakthrough. It's not a sign to stop. It's a signal that your old identity is fading and your new one is beginning to root. You don't have to rush it. Just stay with yourself. Stay present. So Leo, if you're reading this and something in you is stirring, acknowledge it. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let this be the week you stop waiting for the right time and realize that you are the timing. Everything that's unfolding around you now is not happening to you, it's happening for you, with you, through you. You are not the passenger. You are the flame that lights the way forward. This is your moment. And all the signs say, you're ready. And so, Leo, here we are at the edge of a turning point. You've walked with me through the fire of clarity, the unraveling of limitation, the silent shifts that speak louder than words. We've explored your astrology, the language of the cards, the vibration of color and number, the signals of change sent not just through signs, but through the quiet call within you to rise. And now the question is no longer if you're ready, but how you'll step forward. You've outgrown the version of yourself that waits. You've looked directly at the cage and found that the door was never really locked. You've stood at the edge of the storm and realized you are the storm. This journey wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about remembering who you already are. And now, the universe is no longer asking you to prepare. It's inviting you to live. loudly, authentically, unapologetically. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to begin. Maybe that means writing down those 3 intentions we spoke about and reading them each morning. Maybe it means finally wearing that golden hue that helps you walk like the light you've always been. Maybe it's as simple and as powerful as choosing rest when the world expects hustle, or speaking your truth even if your voice shakes. Let me ask you something. What would you do this week if you knew you were supported? What step would you take if you stopped waiting for permission? And what dream, no matter how quiet, has been tapping gently at your heart, asking to be heard? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Or better yet, share it in the comments below. Tell me, what's the one thing you know you're meant to move toward right now? And if you're feeling bold, leave a message that anchors your choice. Say a line, a word, or even just the sentence, "I am ready to receive." Because when we speak it, when we witness each other's readiness, something sacred begins to shift. You don't need to be perfect to take action. You just need to be willing. The courage isn't in knowing all the answers, it's in choosing movement over fear. In choosing to trust that the universe doesn't just favor you, it walks with you, every time you move in alignment with your own light. So pause for a breath, Leo. And hear this clearly: no one else can live the life that's meant for you. No one else can tell the story you came here to tell. And no voice, no doubt, no shadow has the right to dim the flame you carry. You don't need to ask the world for permission to shine. You are the light the world has been waiting for. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for spending your time here with me on Eternal Mindfulness. Your presence, your energy, your willingness to go deep and reflect, it's the reason this channel continues to grow, and the reason these messages find their way into the hearts that need them most. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, these are not just numbers. They are energetic bridges. And each one brings this community closer together. So if you felt something shift inside you today, if a word or image lit something up in your chest, I invite you to stay. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the guidance that's yet to come. And finally, if you're feeling brave, and I know you are, comment below with the words, "I am ready to rise." Let it be your sacred signal to the universe and to yourself. Because Leo, your time is not coming. It's here.